They called him a hero, a king, a protector. But what if the greatest secret about T'Challa was that his kingdom was built on something dangerously close to selfishness? Because while the world burned, while nations were invaded, while millions suffered under war, hunger, and slavery, Wakanda watched, silent, hidden, untouched. And that silence lasted for centuries. From the outside, Wakanda looked forgotten: poor roads, farmers, simple villages, nothing that could attract global attention. But that image was a lie. Buried beneath those ordinary landscapes was the most advanced civilization on Earth. A nation so powerful it could have changed human history long before the world even understood electricity. And yet, it chose not to. That decision began long before T'Challa was born. It began the night the sky split open. A burning object tore through darkness and crashed into African soil with enough force to change destiny forever. What landed that night was not just a meteor, it was power. Vibranium, a metal no army could control. No scientist could fully explain. No nation could survive without wanting. The first tribes who found it did not see wealth. They saw danger. And they were right. Because before Wakanda became a kingdom, it almost destroyed itself, trying to possess what had fallen from the sky. 5 tribes fought for control, brother against brother. Blood soaked the ground around the crater, until one warrior vanished into the mountains and returned changed. He claimed a Black Panther had spoken to him. Not an animal, a force, a god. A warning. He found a strange herb growing near vibranium soil. When he consumed it, his body transformed. He became the first Black Panther. And with that power, he did not simply end the war. He became the first ruler, the first Black Panther. But here is the twist history rarely tells. The same power that united Wakanda also planted fear so deep that every generation after him inherited it. Because the first lesson Wakanda learned from power was this: if the world sees what you have, the world will come for it. So they hid. For centuries, while empires rose and collapsed, while ships crossed oceans carrying chains, while wars erased entire civilizations, Wakanda built machines capable of healing, defending, and reshaping the future. Yet did nothing. Not because they lacked compassion, but because they feared becoming the next target. That fear became law. Then came T'Challa, born into privilege, yes, but also born into a prison built by legacy. He inherited wealth hidden beneath silence. He inherited a throne protected by secrecy. And he inherited a question no king before him wanted to answer. What if protecting Wakanda had slowly become abandoning everyone else? As a child, he trained to defend his people. He learned combat before politics, discipline before emotion, duty before freedom. His father taught him strength, but never told him every truth. Because some truths inside royal bloodlines are buried for survival, until tragedy forced them open. When his father died, T'Challa believed he was stepping into honor. But becoming king did not reveal certainty. It revealed lies. At the sacred waterfall, stripped of enhanced power, he fought for the throne as tradition demanded. He won. He drank the heart-shaped herb, entered the ancestral plane, met the spirits of kings before him. And that is where the real fracture began. Because the ancestors offered wisdom, but not innocence. They protected tradition so fiercely that they never asked whether tradition itself had become dangerous. Then came the truth no crown could hide forever. Wakanda's greatest enemy was not outside its borders. It was born from the consequences of what Wakanda refused to do. A forgotten child, a hidden bloodline, a living consequence of silence. And suddenly T'Challa understood. The greatest threat to Wakanda did not come from invasion.
Wakanda!
It came from history returning with anger.
Face me now!
Because when powerful people stay silent too long, someone eventually arrives to force the conversation. That was the moment T'Challa stopped being only king. Because kings preserve systems, but legends break what must be broken. And that changed everything.